What's going on, everybody? This is your man, your homeboy, your brother from another mother, Monstrositus X, coming back at y'all to bring y'all an update. And I'm a little bit aggravated, I'm sorry, because I had some bill collector calling me looking for some family member trying to talk about I'm their legal contact, and like I'm going to give them all my information and all their information just because you call and say that it's the stupidest thing. I picked up on that shit right away. And I was like, yo, who you think I am? I told you before that there's nobody here by that name living here. You're probably just a bill collector trying to, and she right away start trying to get off the phone. What a stupid ignorant. So anyway, uh, they interrupted, and this is like the third video because of that. They interrupted my video. That's why I'm aggy about that shit. So anyway, I'm coming to y'all to bring y'all this update on the statue. Um, you might be able to see I added some more foil. I added foil to this back leg. I gotta smash it down some more. But as I was doing this, I realized some things that I was doing. I had this. They say in carpentry, measure twice, cut once, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I take my time with my statues and everything I do. Well, especially my statues and my cloth figures, my ragmen. So uh, the character I was building this body, the thorax area, and I know it's way too big. It's too bulbous all the way around. So it's only supposed to be a little bit bigger than the head, and the head is going to get just a teeny bit bigger, just maybe this much bigger, and it's going to be squared off. Like from the top, it's going to be like squared, and then it's going to have like rounded edges. Not going to be really a box shape because it's going to have rounded edges, but I got to shape it to the shape of a wasp's head. And then as I put my hand up inside this thing, right, and I'm squeezing the foil around the apparatus up here, and I'm like, daggone, okay, how am I going to connect the wings? So so now I have to build a framework, and that framework is also going to make it less bouncy. It's going to secure it up, but it's going to give me something to attach the legs, and so that when the legs are sticking out, none of that's going to be, it's going to be securely, because look, the head is rolling around, and see, I need to stabilize all of that, and I can't have this big ball of aluminum foil just sitting up there rolling around. So I'm gonna have to stabilize all of this. So I'm building a framework, two of them, one for this one and one for the one that's coming on the back side right here. That's gonna be the one for Heather and her statue, because that's going to be two separate statues. This is not a Vespis, but this is a aluminum wire that a lot of artists use for making armatures, for making statues. So I'm going to use that as a representation of where the Vespis is going to be. There's going to be like a rock right here, and that's going to be able to slide in right here and slide out. This is going to be where the Vespis. See, here's the base of the statue. This is going to be like hanging off the front of the base right here, giving me a little bit more room, separation between Heather and the Vespis. Let me try and turn this a little more so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, now see, this is right around where the Vespis is going to be, crawling up the side of the rock that's going to be right here. It might be a little bit further out, right? But anyway, it's going to be around here. And then if I have Heather hanging off just a little bit further back that way towards my right, or the camera's right, towards where her foot is pointing, right? Have her push back that way. This is an accurate height on Heather compared to CYBERFROG. So I measured along his leg, up his thigh, all the way up his side of his body to the head, and then I gave a little extra inch because he's supposed to be a couple of inches taller than CYBERFROG, according to Ethan. So I figured that's what I'll do. I'll make a inch taller, and then I could just knock off the bottom. You know, you can't. once you make it, if you don't make it long enough, you can't add length afterwards. But if you gave it too long, you could always knock off a little bit, always. So anyway, this is what I did. This mound is even, I wanted it to be bigger. See, I even started contemplating and making CYBERFROG smaller, and then making Heather smaller. But then Lily's gonna have to be smaller. I'll have to do so much to recalibrate all of the heights and stuff. It's not worth it. And the only thing I was figuring that I might have to do is just separate them a little bit more, and maybe that'll create this what I want, because I wanted to put more height. See, if she had more height, she would look like she's jumping off of this high altitude thing and then coming down onto the Vespers. But I'm not going to be able to do that. It's not going to line up with the CYBERFROG. Now, as you see, let me show you. This is basically what the CYBERFROG Jaylee statue looks like. Her face is right about here. Now, it depends on where you line it up, but this is about, I asked height for the camera. So she's about right where she's supposed to be, I would assume. But because of the proportions and the perspective in the cover, she can be smaller. She can be smaller because she's represented as being pushed back in the picture. But in here, I can't do that. She has to be of accurate type of size. So even if she comes off as bigger than she's supposed to be, it will be accurate as far as the Vespers and her relationship to CYBERFROG. So I have to leave it in there. But that's not bad from what she's representing. Her legs going to be out and back, we see. And in the picture, she only got one leg. And I'm giving her two. So come on, man. Y'all gotta have to cut me some breaks, bro. So if y'all don't want the second statue for whatever reason, I'm gonna have them separate, but they'll be able to slip together. CYBERFROG is the important one. This is the one that I wanted to do. The CYBERFROG with the Vespers and Lily jumping on his back. I still got the Lily right here. I haven't really gone any further with her yet because I want to make sure that everything is cool with CYBERFROG. But here's Lily, the Lily workup, and this is gonna go right there. And see, I was thinking that this is another thing that I've been thinking about, that the Jaylee statue, right? The Jaylee drawing is alright. I could just put and hook her around her chokehold. Put a chokehold on that bitch. Alright, now watch this. Okay, put a chokehold on him. Now she's a police, right? So, you see? So, this is what I wanted to do, right? Being that, Jay Lee, his statue, his drawing, has CYBERFROG kind of tilted this way, right? And then this leg is straight across like this, and the leg here is perpendicular, almost perpendicular. It's kind of just like this, right? What I want is the chin of the Vespers pushed back into the chest area right here of the Vespers, and it's pushing, and then the in between the shell of the Vespers is tear away, and that's where this is, and in between there is going to be the blood and some guts and stuff like that, right? So what I'm also wanting to do, because people who buy statues, they don't buy statues just because they like a cover, right? They like it because of the energy and what it's representing, you know? And so what I want to do, what I've done is, instead of having him like this, I've moved him back like this. So it's like he's stomping, he's exploding outwards. he's exploding his leg outwards as if he had his knee in his chest, and he stomped outwards, and his body's exploding back in order to get that kick to the face, that stomp into the face of the Vespers. And I also want to raise this left arm up and back that way to get the elbow going back that way to kind of also emphasis that type of energy. And I also want to bring this leg in the back, that back left leg, I want to bring it down a little bit more. Just little alterations, slight alterations to create more energy. I'm gonna ask EVS what he thinks about that before I do it. I don't want to just take it because it's not my property. I'm doing this so that everybody can get to know me, get to know what I can do, and to see what a value I could be to Comicsgate. So that's the reason why I'm doing this, and this is the reason why I want to do this. It's all about trying to accomplish this action, get this as detailed and to where EVS says, "Wow, this is really good. Sure, you can do it." Maybe he'll buy it from me and take it and do it himself. I don't know how it works because I've never sold anything to anyone. So, but I've been looking into it. I know how to. I'm going to be learning more and more about producing these statues and turning them from clays into resins so that I can do it myself. If I do it myself, I save on shipping and handling and all of that, and then paying someone else to do the job that I know that needs to be done, but I just have never done it. I don't really have the tools for it right now, so, or the chemicals. I don't have the money to buy the chemicals and all that stuff, so it might be better to just get the campaign and get the money and send it out and have it done professionally until I learn how to do that better. So hopefully EVS says he knows somebody who does statues, but I know that's digital. But this dude, he might have to know something. He might have some knowledge, or he might have connections. So I'm hoping that EVS can help out with that too. If not, then I guess I'll have to find somebody who can handle that for me. And the only thing is, how do I get this thing in his hands without getting it destroyed? See, EVS don't really live that far from me, and I would just be able to hand it over to him and put it in a box or something, and he could take it to the dude. But I don't have no way of getting anything to anyone right now. So he says he knows these people, so that's why I'm hoping that he can help with that. But I know he's a very busy man. I understand that, and there's no reason for him to really help me with this. I understand, so I won't be getting mad if he couldn't do it. But I will send him an email and show him my progress. Everything's going to be, within the next week, you'll be able to see the clay on everything. But I'm making the framework for this Vespers and the other one that's going to be on this side, so that they're the same height, on the same size. As when you put them together, you notice the size are comparably the same. So that's why I'm creating them both at the same time. That's what I've been doing over the weekend, is including writing. I can't forget about my other project, so I've still been writing Might and all of that. And so even with the exploding thing where I'm trying to get him to look like he's exploding outward, right? Trying to boost. Then I could have Lily kind of more up in the air, kind of just hanging on for life, and all of that stuff would have more excitement to look at it. You'll be able to look at it over and over again because of the details and then the action and the momentum of it. That you would be able to feel and live it, every time you looked at it. That's why I don't want it to look too stagnant, like it's just sitting there. I want it to represent the action that was supposed to be intended, as far as I feel. So anyway, then I plan on, like, if once I get this in 2 or 3 weeks, I would say 2 weeks I would want to put up a sign up page, and 3 weeks get 3 to 4 weeks have a complete campaign out for the first statue. right? And for both statues, because by then you'd be able to see what I'm doing. And then the second statue I will work on during the campaign for the first statue, right? Or for the two statues. And you'll be able to see the second statue come into being. So as the campaign goes on. So it'll be up, the campaign will be up for a month or two, then you actually get to witness the growth during the campaign. So no matter what, you'll have two statues. Like I said, the one with CYBERFROG would be from 600 to 700. That's at least a 200 and change, because those statues at this size go for easily 900, 950, 960, 990 easily. So for $700, and then on top of it, you still have to pay to get them painted. You're only going to get a grayscale resin statue with all of the details. Then you have to send it. Yet you get it, and then you have to mail it out, or have them mail it to a painter, and then you have to pay for the painter. I won't be painting them for you all. That's way too much outside of what I can do right now. I don't know all of the techniques for creating that translucency and all of that stuff, for creating the skin and all of that, because you would have to do that for CYBERFROG and for Lily and all of them, create that type of translucency and all that. But and make the best. Dude that I watch is called on YouTube. It's called Matts, Matts models, Matts models. So, and that's where I learned a lot of the shit for as far as painting models and these resin statues. So that's what I'm thinking about it. That's why I planned for it. I'm going to be putting up a video probably tomorrow about the references that I use for and that's going to be all of the pictures that I've gotten off of for different wasps, and the murder hornets, and the executioner hornets, and the paper wasps, executioner wasps and the paper wasps. So excuse me. So that's what I got planned. That's for tomorrow, and then I'll send a little email to EVS explaining what I'm planning and how I'm progressing. He'll be able to see how I'm progressing, and if he says that he's willing to let me do it, then I won't be afraid to let him share the wealth. Whatever I make, I don't have any problem with that, because it is his property. I really just need enough so that I can make sure that I can hang for the rest of the year without worrying about paying bills while I put out Might, the comic book, and then I can do other statues too, because I want to do Black Flag after that, because Dan Frager done so much for me. He let me on his channel when he didn't have to. So I want to be able to do maybe a sniper. Why is it so blurry? Maybe a sniper statue, sniper, and because he got all of that stuff hanging off of his arms, those armbands that he has that kind of fly in the wind, and then all of those bullet shells. That's going to be another thing to do, having all those bullet shells laying all over the ground. So yeah, I want to do that. Then I want to do some Graveyard Shift. There's a lot of characters in Graveyard Shift that's interesting. And then I want to do Zay Comics. I want to do Crimstone. So that's a good character. So yeah. And then after that, I don't know. I'll probably get some Mike characters, my own characters up in there. So that's probably what I'll do next after those. But I just want to show that I can be an extremely valuable contributor to Comicsgate on every level, as far as my comic books and these statues. So yeah, so I think that's just about it. Yeah, the frameworks I have to create for that, and yeah, it should go pretty smoothly after that. Cause once I get the legs in, because what EVS had in his. I watched the toy video, and from what I saw of the pictures and the videos that I was watching on all these wasps, they have like a shoulder here. It's like a shoulder joint that goes up their arm, their body right here, right? It kind of goes right up in here like this. And then the two leg, and that's where the middle legs come out of, right? It kind of faces back like this. And then this is the torn part of the thorax. So this is the back part where the back legs come out and go this way. I wanted it to be torn to where one leg is here and another leg is like over here. And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Maybe I just have to tear it in the right way. And I want it to look believable. That's why I want it to be done right. So anyway, and the front two legs are all the way coming out right below his chin here. So I want that like squeezed in between his two legs, front legs, and then have this one that's pushing back this way like this, and then it comes out. They all come out on the bottom, but up here in the thorax body, there's like this. He does. Ethan doesn't have that in the toy. He doesn't have that where they all come out from all four legs come out like in this small. All six legs come out in this localized area right here. Instead of one up front going like forward, this one in the middle going backwards, and then the ones in the back going back like this. They kind of stick out like this in the back. So I want to do that for the bottom part. And then the top, I want to make it like look more like EVS's. It will get more ridgy, or as it goes up in ridges, and it'll all come right up into that spinal bump that go down, the bump ridge, that bumpy ridge, spiny bumpy ridge that goes down the middle of the back. So I'm looking at all the details. I'm gonna make sure that the head is shaped in the way that it's supposed to, because I have it too round. Right now I made it bigger, but it's too round. It has to be a little flatter on top, and then kind of like a triangle or like a upside down. You ever seen a 5-point? I forget what symbol that is. It's like a shield where it goes flat on top and flat on the sides like this, and then it comes down like a triangle, like a V on the bottom, and then it's two flat sides of them, and then a flat top. Well, that's basically how wasp's head is shaped, and that's why I got to get all of that. And so by tomorrow, I think I should be starting to add the legs. I'll put in the legs, the wings, and keep going with packing on the thickness of the musculature. And then from there, see, the lower part I'm not going to be able to do. And same thing with the arms. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to leave that really thin so that I can layer on the pipes, because it's kind of like cables that go down and lead down, cables or whatever you want to call them, coils. And same thing around the wrists. But the plating that goes around the legs, that's going to be easy. All I have to do is, I got a rolling pin like that you use for clay and leather and stuff like that. I'm just going to be able to roll that out, flatten out the clay, roll it out into a certain thickness, and then slice it into slices and wrap it around the leg and then form the musculature. That's not going to be hard at all. It might be time consuming. It might be monotonous doing the same thing over and over again, making sure that they're equidistant and that they're not looking too crazy. So as long as I do that, there's not too much of that on the upper arm, because you got the big ball there, and then it's like only 3 or 4 plates down towards the crux of the elbow area, and then from there the opposite side of the elbow down to the wrist, it's all coiled. So that's going to be really easy. The hard part would be putting those light things in between the coils and the straight metal part. So between this area where the knee goes down, Then there's going to be a ring of lights. Then there's going to be those coils that go straight down. That's going to be the difficult part, putting in those lights. But I don't see how it being all that difficult either. So the difficult part would be separated, making sure that this has that groove so that I can put those lights in there. What I would do is probably work either this way and get down to here, and then I'll put the circle of lights. I'll create a flat area, and then I'll put that circle of lights all the way around, pointing outwards all the way around, and then from there down will be those coils, and then I just make sure that it's cut or flat, because it doesn't look like there's some kind of plate that separates those. So anyway, yeah, I already talked about the exploding outwards and adding that more action type of, making it look like it's a little bit more activity going on within the statue itself without trying to divert so much from what Jay Lee did. So again, I'm going to try and push that to see what EVS says. And if he has no problem with that, I'm going to keep on going forward. I'll probably try to contact with him today and see how he thinks about it. Let him watch the video and see what he thinks about it, and keep on moving from there. So come on back and check me out, because we're going to be bringing out more videos about this until it's finished. And then we're going to move back. I'm going to change up my channels a little bit, because I'm getting tired of trying to do what I see other people do. I think I got to follow my own path, because I'm not staying consistent. I need to find something that's more appealing to me. So that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, remember, the mighty universe is coming your way. The mighty verse is coming your way. Copyright. So sorry about that. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be something that you're going to want to get in on, because that's a great story. And these statues are going to be something that you're going to want to look in on. So that's it, people. Until the next time, remember that this is Goddamn Comics. This is the home of the Goddamn, where creators come to create. And so, when y'all want to create, come on over here and check me out, because that's what the Goddamn is all about. A bunch of demigods, earthbound gods who create worlds for other people to live in or to get lost in. So yeah, this is what we do here, and I want y'all to come back and check me out again. Don't forget to subscribe and do that YouTube thing, share, like, comment, anything that you want to say, you want questions answered, put it in the comments, and I will get back to you. All right then, till next time, later.